Welcome to the Clutch Buckets Podcast. My name is Josh Tyson.
And I'm Kyle Spence.
Their profession, our passion, your court. Check ball to you, man. What's
Check
good,
ball,
guys?
Tyson. How you feeling, man?
Man, living the dream, man. I can't complain, man. How you living?
That's good. Man, it feels like we are just having these nice little breaks in between to see what's
We
going
do.
on in the NBA,
We
and then we
do.
just come back together and have a conversation
We
about it.
gotta
I feel
soak
like
it
that's
all in.
appropriate.
Right. Well, preparing for the holidays, preparing our
Yes.
minds for this next phase of basketball because it's about to get intense. So we gotta prepare mentally for it.
That's what I'm
So we need
saying.
this little, holiday break, man.
That's what I'm saying. We got 5 games on Christmas, and then
Yeah,
after that, we gonna get up to the All-Star game, All-Star
gonna go
weekend, and
quick.
then they're gonna ramp up for the playoffs.
Yeah,
We gotta take our time, you know what I'm
gotta take our
saying?
sweet time with it. Yeah.
So that's what I'm loving. But in the meantime, what actually happened on the 17th is the NBA Cup.
Let's
This
talk
is the
about it.
second NBA Cup that has occurred in the NBA. They call it an in-season tournament, affectionately called, where the Milwaukee Bucks decided to destroy, dismantle the Oklahoma City
All
Thunder
people.
97-81, walking them down, yo. I want to hear your thoughts about that because I have some too, Tyson. What's going on? What did you see?
Man, these Bucks making a statement, ain't they? I didn't see
I
this
don't like
coming at
that.
all. They made you talking about a quick turnaround to their whole season. But yo, that's the type of tenacity and passion that's missing in this NBA. The things that Giannis is doing, I don't know why he's not automatic MVP, first MVP candidate, bro. I mean, he's been doing this all season. He's
He
been
has.
carrying this team. Yet you haven't heard one time where they look back at a game and they're like, "Oh, Lillard carried them." He ain't been like now. All respect to their duo, though they have been making more progress and building chemistry, which is off the chain. People been stepping up. They finally got Middleton back, so
Hmm.
that was a big boost for them, especially offensively. But the things Giannis has been doing, willing his team to these wins, been off the chain. But how they dismantled the Thunder, I didn't see that coming. We thought that was
I,
a great,
I
great
I
game.
for sure didn't see that coming at all. What I saw was a terrible Thunder game, period.
Horrible.
They couldn't shoot. They couldn't find
At
a
all.
basket. It wasn't
At
even
all.
close.
At
And I
all.
think that was what was frustrating for me. It was a great defensive game.
That.
The Milwaukee Bucks were actually playing really well. And defensively, the Thunder were actually playing really well. Caruso, I can see such being a great pickup for what they needed to do.
Yeah.
But when I saw them on the offensive end, Tyson, I was like, what is going on?
I didn't see
Every
it,
time
bro.
we needed a bucket, a literal pun intended, clutch bucket,
Yes.
nobody could actually
Nobody
sink a
could come
three,
through.
a two, a layup, nothing. They weren't able to draw fouls. It's like, this is ridiculous, y'all.
So that's the thing. Do we attribute that to the Bucks defense or just a bad Thunder game?
I gotta attribute it half and half. Bucks
Yeah.
defense was great in the second half because remember, it was tight at the half. I think it was like
Yeah.
51-50 or something like that
Then
at
they
the
ran
half.
off.
And then they just blew it out of the water
Yeah.
in the third quarter. They came down. I think they hit back-to-back threes in the third quarter, right after the third quarter began. They started to play scramble ball. Then Bobby Portis started to turn up the
Turn
intensity.
up.
And
I love his
man,
intensity, by the way. His eyes get wide.
his eyes get real wide. Giannis was not playing around after that.
Game's
He
gonna
was
be paid
playing
today
bully ball. He was going straight to the cup. He's going underneath the basket. He's
all
doing
day.
whatever he needed to do. I
He was
didn't even have
acting
to
as
worry
if
about Lillard.
he was acting as if he was making all the players give him a percentage of that 500 grand
That's how
that
I
they're
felt.
passed. That's how I felt. Like he was getting compensated on the back
Yeah,
end. Like I need a P. If I get y'all this NBA cup,
I'm
I
gonna
need
need some.
10% of everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But yo,
need. I'm gonna need something.
The Thunder, I've never seen this. The Thunder shot 33%, bro, in
Yeah,
total. And 15%, they're not a great three-point shooting team,
they're not.
but 15% from the three-point line?
Man, it was expected. I mean, it was just unfortunate that your bad game is your championship. for the in-season tournament, of course. They're
Yeah,
still number one in the
they
West.
are.
It's not like they fell off. I
Yeah,
think, maybe 2 games above Memphis for first place. So it's not like they fell off. It's just that they had their worst game or
yeah,
one of their most lackluster games at the time you needed it most.
yeah.
Meanwhile, you can still see this momentum of Giannis and Dame and Portis and
Pushing
Brooke
through.
Lopez and Middleton coming back. They are just picking up steam. I think they're 2 or 3 games over 500 now. They're
Yeah,
fifth place in the East. So what we expected them to be, they're certainly turning into that team
they
in
are.
front of our eyes. So again,
They are.
kudos to the Bucks. They played an excellent game. I didn't see much flaws at all, in fact, in what I was watching. So I
Yeah,
was like, you know what? Y'all deserve it. Y'all
yeah.
deserve it over the Thunder. But Giannis actually got in-season tournament NBA Cup MVP for that. Did you think that it was qualified? Because Dame wasn't no slouch, you know what I mean? He
It wasn't
actually
no
was
slouch,
playing
but
well in that game as well.
we all know who really carries them at the end of the day. And Giannis, man, he's relentless. He's relentless. So, and all credit, man. On another note, all credit to the Bucks, man, for turning up their defense. Because remember, they were one of the worst defensive teams, not last month, even I mean, a few weeks ago, literally, man. And all of a sudden, for them to show up, man, and shut the Thunder down like this, man, I don't want to personally give credit to Doc Rivers, but
Oh,
I think
you
this is
gonna
a
give it to
credit to
Darvin
Darvin
Ham
Ham.
then?
Can we? We're gonna put that in his lap, bro. We're gonna put that on his shoulders,
I
man.
mean, hey, keep it a buck. He's actually gotten the two
I'm just saying,
IST, the NBA Cups. He's the coach of those two
back to back,
teams.
back to
So
back.
he
I
might
mean,
have something in the tuck for the actual playoffs and the championship.
right?
So hey, kudos to them.
Mhm.
Kudos to Giannis. He did his thing. That triple double was no slouch at all. He was
Nah,
26, 19, and 10. Like, come on.
yeah,
Like, you definitely deserved it. In
no doubt.
fact, he picked up the trophy before anything transpired because he said, no, it belongs to me. I'm not even going to wait until Adam Silver decides to announce who the winner is.
I
It's,
already know.
I know who
I
it
already know.
is. So he was really confident about that. He's not playing any
For
games.
sure.
And like I said, I do feel as though this momentum that they're on is really just carrying over to the regular season.
Yeah,
And I love, love, love to see it because I need some competition in the East as a
gotta respect
Celtics
it.
fan, which we're going to switch to right now as we're looking at Jason Tatum really making a
Watch your
case for
boy.
MVP, Tyson.
Mhm.
Last night, he played the Chicago Bulls. There's a second game with them. He played well in the first
Oh,
one, but now he's 43 points, I think 16 and 10. I can't remember what it was. I'm going to look it up
damn.
shortly.
Went
But he
triple
was
double.
hooping. I
Balling.
think, dude. So I think that Jason Tatum currently is leading the charge for MVP of the league.
He
I
has
feel
to.
as though he's primed. The team is in second place in the East. There's no stopping them. He is not falling off with any of his consistency on the court. In fact, in my mind, this is my conspiracy theory. Jalen Brown kind of taking a little bit of a backseat right now.
Yes. I think he really wants, maybe he's trying to really push the boy to be MVP because we ain't seen him really turn up. You ain't heard no game. Oh, Brown took over for real.
Mm.
He's had his games, but
He had his games.
man, I don't know, man. Maybe he allowing Tatum to really do his thing, which is some brotherly love, which is off the chain. I love seeing Tatum go ham. He hasn't been getting the recognition in sports media that he deserves lately.
Mhm.
He's been on a tear this entire season. All
He
respect.
really has.
I mean, especially man, just all around, man. Not just his offensive skill, but all around. You saw with this easy triple double,
Yeah.
15 rebounds, 10 assists, still
Mm.
balling with assists. And I mean, the guy doing this thing, bro. So hey,
I mean, he's averaging this year 28 points, 28.8 points, Tyson. 28, 9, and 5. Almost 6 assists, shooting on
is
46%.
Count, does he not get enough respect because he's not tough enough? Because he
He's
just
more than tough enough. I
But
have not
what is the
seen.
persona around him, bro? Like, let's
We gonna still have some colorism in the NBA. He's a fairer skinned brother. They're going to always attribute that as okay. He may not be as tough as someone else, like his cohort and counterpart in Jalen Brown, the
yeah,
dark skinned young man. And I think that's attributed to part colorism, but no one likes the Celtics. So they're going to overlook the Celtics. They're just going to say, you got yourself a super team. Anyway, you see Derek White and Peyton Pritchard as the number one and two when you're talking about a duo from the 3-point line.
yeah,
They are our role players, and they are having stardom. Peyton Pritchard is a sixth man of the year
yeah,
candidate that probably is going to win it and may even win MIP as well, most
yeah.
improved player. When you're seeing a team dominating in every category, no one cares to see who's actually doing the most in that, especially when they have already attributed like you're a young guy, you're not
Yeah,
winning, and then you finally win. It's like, that was against the Dallas Mavericks, blah, blah.
yeah,
So you can't win even when you're winning, sadly, in my opinion.
yeah, that's true. By the way, man, you're right though. Pritchard and White, man, they calling them the new Splash Brothers. They got some
That's
of
wild.
what the best 3-point percentage out in the NBA right now.
That's wild. That's wild. I don't
That's
know
why.
what to do about that except celebrate that the Celtics are, in fact, the Celtics. Porzingis back. We just doing what we need to do out here,
Doing their
and I don't
thing.
see anyone stopping us in a 7-game
Now,
series whatsoever. But you know who's making another statement in the West? Memphis Grizzlies,
I ain't
second
see
in the
that coming.
West. I thought that they were going to slow down. Nobody saw this coming. Like,
Nah,
let's be real.
let's be
I
real.
didn't see this coming at all. I think that John Morant is a
Left field.
great player. I think that the Grizzlies are a defensive-minded team, which makes me
Yeah,
enjoy their play. But I did not see them actually cracking the top three in the
not all.
West, let alone they
Not
are
all.
literally what 3 games behind the Thunder for number one.
Yeah.
Did you see this coming? What do you see their potential being?
Not at all, especially after John Morant being out as long as he did. They lost a couple of players, and then for him to come back and act as if the whole team act as if he never left. Like the meshing, man, the chemistry is just all back in action. Jared Jackson, remember we haven't heard from Jared Jackson since John Morant took a hiatus.
Yeah,
I mean, he's balling out of nowhere. Bane doing his thing on the regular. Eddie, the rookie boy, I mean, he's fitting in place. And John Morant just doing his thing. But John Morant puts so much pressure on his defense, but he's incredibly smart. His assists are up, finding the right people, getting the balls to the right place. And like you said, the defensive minded. You know who doesn't get enough credit though? Their coach, Taylor Jenkins. They don't even talk about him. They don't even
that's
really talk
true.
about the Grizzlies. But the way Taylor Jenkins has been able to take this team to the next level, nobody, even with John Morant coming back, nobody was talking about the Grizzlies, bro.
That's true.
Nobody saw them going anywhere. And now they're what? Top, they're two. They're number
Yeah.
two in the West. The,
You
the
know who
West,
needs to
bro.
get credit to?
Oh,
Marcus Smart. That was a veteran leadership type of acquisition, just
yeah,
like how when they had Derrick Rose on their team, and it
yeah,
was like just there to kind of mentor.
that's true.
Marcus Smart having this defensive mindset and willing to play a role. I actually do think that that acquisition for them was a great pickup. And the irony is, in the news, they were talking about trading Marcus Smart to potentially the Lakers,
Really?
et cetera,
Mm.
because they were like, we don't see the Grizzlies doing well this season,
At
and
all.
Marcus Smart can be the piece that a championship
Mm-hmm.
contending team would need in
Mm-hmm.
order to get over the hump. But look at them now.
Look at me
You know what
now.
I mean? Like, come on now. Like they're really playing well. I mean, they lost to the Lakers, what I think. recently, but no one cares about that because they blew out the Warriors the next game. And we're not going to talk about it because we know that
That
that's
was
a pretty
tough.
sore subject right now. But they're on a tear. I didn't expect this. I am enjoying what I'm seeing. They do play a great, well-rounded type of game. They don't really be cracking these 40-minute style of play where one
Like
player is
New
in
York
for the
Knicks.
vast
Yeah,
majority, like Tom Thibodeau would do.
yeah.
They're giving them like them 25 to 33 type minutes, and
Yeah.
everyone eats on the team from
Everybody.
1 to 15. So I really, really appreciate what they're doing right now,
Yeah.
which is different than most of the other teams because their style of play is completely different than what we're seeing now, which brings us to our next point. NBA ratings are currently down, and people have thoughts about it. Give us some backstory on what's happening in the NBA, Tyson, and then we're going to discuss what exactly is driving.
Yo, so man, let's bring this up real quick, man. So with these numbers, man, just I mean, well, let's first talk about man the percentages. So they said viewership was down 19% from this
Mm,
time last year across all the networks and down 25% with NBA TV, man. Um, and they're attributing a lot to a lot more three-pointers being attempted now. Teams are hoisting up a record 37 attempts per game,
mm,
15 more than average a decade ago. Um, and a lot of people been, calling out Adam Silver, like, yo, man, what's up? What's going on with this downturn? NBA ratings are down. And Adam Silver came out, was like, this, he said the league is having its highest attendance during the past 2 years and strong performance on social media, strongest performance
mm,
than previous years. And he said, but the NBA isn't alone. He said men's and women's college basketball ratings are down. NHL is down. So it doesn't sound like he's too concerned, but I don't know, man. There's been a lot less. I'll say for me, being friends with a lot of NBA fans, the passion for it, the amount of talking behind it, the amount of rhetoric, the amount of stuff that's put out about the NBA. It has really slowed down.
mm,
It's slowed down. And I think, man, one of those things does attribute to, 3-point shooting, but there's a lot of it's less offensive strategy and more just going out gunning shooting. You'll see people out on a 3-1 break pulling up
mm,
for a three, which is
mm,
whack. You know, I think for me especially, it's all about making the right play. The right play, you could make another swing pass versus doing a step back three in somebody's face. You
mm,
know what I mean? Or, taking the lane, pulling up for a floater. Man, you see that float game being almost non-existent, or even the mid-range game being
oh my goodness.
non-existent anymore, man. It's like, yo, what happened to taking what the defense gives you? You know what I mean? Instead of just lighting it up. And I don't know, man. And you don't see as much passion for the game anymore, man. You see a lot more friendly conversation. You don't see really people battering back and forth, bickering back and forth, or talking trash back and forth. And it's that edge that you really want to see players have, like rivalries. Where are the
Mm,
rivalries, Kyle? Like, where
yeah.
are these? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know.
I got some thoughts on that as well. First of all, I 100% agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't watch college basketball, Tyson? And to this day, I still don't.
But
I always say the same thing over and repeatedly when people ask. I hate that every team looks the same. I
uh
hate that they shoot so many threes. And I hate that at the end of the game, it goes down to a buzzer beater. Why? Because every team is playing the exact same
exactly. Yeah.
way, hoisting threes and looking for, the layup. Threes, layup, that's it. It's almost as if the space in between the goal and
Non-existent.
the
Yeah.
three-point line does not exist unless you're taking a free throw. And I said this over and repeatedly for at least 15
Yeah,
years.
you
I
have.
kid you not. Now in the NBA,
What's
guess
that?
what? Those college players are now NBA players, and those college coaches are now possibly assistant coaches or head coaches in the NBA. Now look what we see. Every team essentially is playing the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
All they do is shoot threes
yeah.
and layups, and there's no space for a mid-range game unless you're DeMar DeRozan. Like that's it.
That's it.
And I hate what I see, if I'm being honest, because this was literally what kept me away from watching college basketball in its entirety. And now we're just seeing it transition into the NBA. And I don't think there's any stopping it. When we saw that James Harden and Steph Curry were the three-point masters, and then everyone started to learn the reverse step back, where you're taking 2 to 3 steps back on the gather to try and get to your shot with the kick out flaring of the legs so that you can try and get a flagrant foul on the person that's trying to
All those
close out
nonsense.
on you.
Yeah.
I saw something that Mark Cuban said, and I thought it was really interesting. He said, he posted this recently, that the reason that the NBA ratings are down is probably triple fold. One of them being that the three-point line is the most protected spot in the league, where you can't close out, you can't be in its landing area. Any type of contact will immediately be a foul. People just try to blow past. So you're basically getting an easier shot
Mhm.
with no worry about a penalty, and the defense is very, very afraid of trying to
Uh,
close out on it.
yeah,
Therefore, people are just like, well, it's the most protected shot in the game. You may as well take 50 of them and see what happens.
I
The
will.
maths, right? That's what the statisticians are saying.
Yeah.
If you take enough three-pointers, you're going to win the game. Three is larger than two. So why would you take a two? And why would you take a two so far out instead of just taking a few feet more and taking a three-pointer?
Yeah.
But no one, how many of these people are great shooters, Tyson?
Not
Like,
many at all.
like
Not many
there's
at
a
all.
very limited amount of
Yeah.
actual three-point shooters in the league, but everyone is a three-point shooter. Why? Because of this. And I hate it. I'm not saying that this is what is driving the ratings down, but it's certainly attributing to it. I think that the ref calling everything, technical fouls being just insanely egregious and what they're calling fouls on. Podjensky, I can't remember the gentleman's name from the Warriors, got a technical foul for pointing out that a beverage spilled on the floor.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
pointed to it, they gave him a tech, and they all rushing to say, literally, there's a beverage liquid on the floor, but they're going to give you a tech for that. Like, these refs are doing some really harmful
Next.
things to the game that I love. And thirdly, the channels. I am sick and tired of turning to 8 different channels to try and
Oh,
watch a
it's
game.
absurd. And I understand that's a business move, but it's absurd, especially for the public, man. We need 1 or 2 channels to get to our NBA games. Otherwise, it's not even necessary. It's not worth it. I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch the highlights after.
That's it. And NBA TV is trash. Can we just call it a
Can we talk
bug?
about
Keep
that?
it a
Yeah,
bean. It
yeah,
is one of the worst channels to watch. They play the same things over and
yeah.
repeatedly. I was working one night last week, Tyson. I saw the same interview, post-game interview, 6 times
What?
in a span of maybe 3 hours.
What?
And I was like, oh, so y'all really don't have
Any other
any
content? Any other
any
content?
other content to
Wow,
post here.
that's
So
what's up.
y'all just basically repeat.
On repeat.
It's trash. So it's a myriad of things, but I still enjoy the game. But I can see how people are not tuned in.
Yeah.
And hopefully they make a change soon. Otherwise, This is just going to be like underground hip hop. Like you got to like it for what you like it for. Otherwise, mainstream media is not going to get
It's a
behind
good
it.
reference. A good reference. Yeah.
But either way, other than that, we had some trades going on. We had some, not a lot, but and not even significant, if I'm being honest.
Not at all. Yeah.
First of all, number one, Mo Wagner of the Orlando Magic, he's out, season-ending ACL
Yeah,
tear.
that's tough,
He's
man,
not
because
gonna
they were balling.
tough, tough.
They were
My
balling, bro. Him
goodness,
and his
they're
brother.
balling. So Franz Wagner was out, Pablo Banchero was out, Mo Wagner is now out. They still beat the Heat. They came back from like a 22-25 down and still
That's
beat the
that's
Heat.
disrespectful. If I was a Heat, bro, I wouldn't. I'd be just watching video all day today. I'll be on the fast today.
Speaking of which, there's talk about Bam Adebayo possibly moving. Not a lot of chatter, but there is some conversation around it.
Yeah,
Like they can possibly move him. Of course, there's a Jimmy Butler conversation about him moving to
all
the
day.
Mavs or the Warriors or the Rockets. Not Rockets, the Mavs, Warriors, and who was the third team?
Mavs, Rock, or the Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah,
Okay. Highly unlikely
very.
that
I
I
don't
don't
ever want to
see
see that
that.
happen. But at the same time, man, I'm very disappointed in Bam Adebayo,
Mm,
especially with when Jimmy Butler was out because he has a skill set. If you hear these other podcasts, man, they talk about how versatile this dude is, how almost
yes.
unstoppable he is. And you would think with his ability, like he has MVP type talent,
Yes.
he doesn't have the mindset. Like this dude could easily average 26, 27 a game. He could do that. He could do that. He could take over games, but he doesn't. And I don't know. I can't figure out why not. I don't know why he's not in the media a lot in terms of what he does. He's averaging 16 points a game.
Hmm.
So who's getting like Tyler Hero just came back. Jimmy Butler has been playing a lot, or
Yeah.
his points have been up. So why haven't you been taking more attempts, more shots? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what
They
it.
play in the system. You know how Miami is.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Either way, if he gets traded, which I highly doubt, I don't think the Heat are gonna make any moves, if I'm being honest. And I would be pleasantly surprised if I actually see it happen.
Mm,
I think they're a stubborn, prideful team, an organization to where they're like, we have enough and we're gonna make it enough. And I'm not going to see much of that happening. Not this season. Not against the Celtics, not against the burgeoning Bucks, not against New York Knicks. Like I'm not seeing them actually going to be a threat. So we'll see. But what has transpired is Dennis Schroeder was traded to the Warriors.
yeah.
My goodness, that who cares?
Why?
Okay, I
You
don't know.
need another point guard when
I
Steph
don't
Curry
know.
is out there?
That's your team. You got to
You
tell
got like
me.
three, 4 point guards on the bench.
Yes.
Yo, that was insane to me. Yo, but you know who would really benefit from Bam Adebayo? The Warriors.
Yes, they would.
As
My
versatile
goodness, they need
as
an
he
inside
is,
presence
oh
too.
my
Come on.
gosh, bruh. Wow. Like this
And
dude,
why
he
wouldn't
could
they
guard
trade for that?
all positions. You said what?
Why wouldn't they trade for that?
Why wouldn't
They
you?
have they have picks, don't
All
they?
the pieces. They have all the pieces. Come Kaminga is not the guy that they think he's going to be. I don't think he is,
Correct. Correct.
but especially as of right now, or it's going to take forever. But the thing is, right now, the Warriors have so many assets to trade. They can do something big right now. If they really want to capitalize on Steph Curry's the 2 good years he may have left, they need to
Mm,
capitalize on this now. Like why we picked up Kyle Anderson, why we picked up Schroeder, like these trades make absolutely no sense unless they're trading pieces. I understand
yes.
them if they're trading pieces. So
And that's what I'm looking forward to because you're absolutely right. Bam Adebayo on the Warriors.
what?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Keep Draymond, have Steph, Buddy, and Bam. That's a pretty strong squad. That's a pretty strong squad for already, again, it's already a decent team.
Yeah.
It's not like a terrible team.
Hey,
They're decent enough. So I would agree with that.
could they get
Um,
and Bam?
who was that? Can they
Could
get
they
Jimmy and
get
Bam?
Jimmy and Bam?
Absolutely not. Because
What?
what would be left for Miami Heat? Nothing.
But they restarted anyway. Getting rid of
With
Jimmy or Bam,
who?
they're
Who's
restarting
their
anyway.
who are their rookies? You know how bad it is that we don't even know who
Yeah,
on
that's
that
terrible.
team for real? Like,
Yeah,
if we can be honest, like no one knows who's on that team
nobody.
for real.
Yo, you know who we haven't heard about? Who we thought was gonna go ham? Rozier. He
He's just a
balled
good
last game,
piece.
but we
He's
haven't.
a good piece.
He's a great piece.
But you're right. He doesn't take them anywhere.
No.
But Rozier was always known to be like, you need
Scary Terry.
instant offense, put Scary Terry in. If you need anything else, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
By the way, they took that nickname away from him because he hasn't been scary at all, bro.
He's
Since
not been frightening at all. They
uh,
took his screen mask away a long time
long time
ago,
ago.
but he
Him
can
standing
still
there.
hoop. So
Yeah.
I'll always say shout out to Terry Rozier. But yet, I don't know. Now we're talking about some other potential trades. Zach LaVine seems to be gearing up to potentially be moving out west.
We'll
I know they're
see.
not going to trade him in the east. So could the Nuggets acquire him? Would they give up Jamal
They
Murray
need
for
it.
him? Or Michael Porter Jr. for
You
him?
can't give up. You can't give up Murray because what he does for you in the playoffs, and the relationship that they have. I mean, they've been incredibly consistent. Him and Jokic move forward and play. You can't get rid of Murray, but everybody else except Gordon too. Gordon,
Yeah.
that
I give him Gordon.
big
I don't care what
presence.
y'all say. Y'all can
I
give
give up
him.
Porter. I give up Braun. Of course, with the quickness, I give up Westbrook, Jordan, all them, like all them pieces for yeah, all day.
I will give up Aaron Gordon
Now,
quickly for Zach LaVine
oh
quickly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now,
Wait.
Zach LaVine,
So
of
Gordon
course,
and Porter for that?
no.
Okay, I was about to say
Well,
not both. I
no,
keep
because
both.
Zach LaVine is so injury prone that it's like
He's running up.
you can't even. It's not like it's a guarantee that he'll even play. So
Every time he goes up for a layup, not even a dunk,
you bracing
you
yourself.
bracing yourself. Yeah, you get tense. You get
It's
tense.
that Chicago medical staff, Tyson. Y'all
It's
ain't listening.
not even.
There's
It's
gonna
the
be a
cold
30. There's
weather.
going to be a 30 for 30 on Chicago Bulls medical staff. And
No,
I will be sitting front
it's the
row
weather,
watching it.
man. The
Y'all
weather,
ain't
the
listening.
ice gets in the bones. It's
Y'all
how
ain't
they
listening.
freeze up, so they're too tense to play. No matter how much stretching you do, the cold seeps into the
I
muscles.
said,
There's
Zach
medical
Levine
signs behind
plays basketball with blankets on his legs. That man is covered from head to toe. I don't see he may as well be Muslim because I ain't never seen no skin. That man don't show no leg whatsoever. So
it.
I don't. It can't be ice in the bone. It's that medical staff because
Yeah,
there ain't no way. Lonzo Ball,
that's tough.
Derrick Rose, Zach Levine. They always injured.
Always. Yeah, it's a
There's
problem.
a conspiracy, and I'm standing to it. Now, the last one, of course, is De'Aaron Fox, where I don't know
Oh,
where
that
he's
came
trying to
out of
go to
nowhere.
the Spurs, possibly.
I didn't
Could
think
you
he was
see
going
that
to leave.
actually? I don't see
I
them
didn't see
giving
that
him,
coming.
huh? I would actually give De'Aaron DeMar DeRozan back to the Spurs.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
that's what I would do. But I think at this point, especially with the Kings, like they knew, like I don't even know why they didn't know this coming into that. But DeMar DeRozan doesn't make you better. He does, especially that team. He's just not going
We
to.
said this at the beginning
At the
of the
beginning of the year,
offseason.
what is he going to add value to when you already have two people who need to be in the paint, Fox
Correct.
and Sabonis? They both need to be in the paint, man. So that value, man, has diminished. I'm surprised Fox has still been able to eat. But of course, to take away from the whole team, the Kings aren't going anywhere, man. It
Right.
is what it is. So I think at this point, even Fox is like, yo, all right, man, I might need to go somewhere else, or I mean, trade DeMar and a
Sabonis.
couple other pieces.
Um,
Yeah, even Sabonis. Like you got to make some shake, man. Because Fox is at his. I mean, he in his prime. He doing this thing, man. Like this dude had 150 and 160 point game this year. I mean, this dude been balling.
I don't mind De'Aaron Fox over there with Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul.
I don't, but
But
that's
does
not a
that
win.
make the Spurs playoff contenders?
No, it doesn't. And that's what I'm saying. I think D Fox would want to go somewhere where he is a playoff contender. I don't know.
Where would that be?
I don't know what that would be though. That's a tough one. Maybe
Let me think. Let me think.
uh if we go out east,
He could go back to the Magic. I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm back to, but he could probably be a good
holla
acquisition
at
for
the
the
Magic,
Magic.
man.
That's about it.
Yeah, in terms of contending, that's all you're gonna get because everybody else stacked up. And
We
then
good. Everyone
you
else
know,
is like, no, we good.
in the West, it's packed too. I wouldn't want them to go to Lakers, but the Lakers could use them.
Maybe the Rockets, because Fred Van Fleet is cool, but De'Aaron Fox is better.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, you're right.
That's
Mm,
the only other team I can say, okay, if you're talking about a Texas team, maybe them.
maybe
Or maybe the Lakers, maybe, if we're being honest.
Phoenix would love to have a no.
Yes, they were, because
They need a
I don't
pure
care
point
what
guard.
people say. Tyus Jones is cool, but he is
Yeah.
not that good. Like, why are other podcasters so hype on this game?
Because I understand it from this perspective, Kyle, you have three great shooters who all need the ball. So you have to have a point guard who's selfless, who doesn't need a score at all, and is just all about distributing and making plays.
I guess. I get it, but I'm not hyping it.
Yeah,
And I'm seeing people hyping it.
they have been
And I'm
hyping.
like, he's literally a Malcolm Brogdon of the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nobody's tripping off that like that. So I don't know, Tyson. I don't know. I don't, what we're ultimately saying at this point is there aren't really that many moves you can make with De'Aaron Fox right
Nah,
now.
nah. I don't.
Not any that makes a lot of sense because he's definitely a scoring point guard. Tyus Jones averages like 12 points. De'Aaron Fox averages like 26. But they're still in around the same assist game, about 6 and 6.7. So you're going to get more offense with De'Aaron Fox, but the fit, man, it was already a bad decision to get DeMar DeRozan over to the
I
Kings.
don't
So
understand these GMs, man, what they be thinking, especially even if you do NBA analytics, it makes no sense
it didn't.
because the whole paint is covered. Bro, I don't understand these type of trades. You think the Suns gonna make some noise, man?
Yeah, not enough, but yeah. They're going to get to probably like the semifinals in the West. I could see them getting that far. I don't know if I could see them getting farther than that.
Yeah.
But that's good because you have such great players. You should be at the
You should be.
top.
You should be.
There's no reason for you to not be.
I don't.
So, but the irony is they're 11th right now. You know that, right?
That's the problem, Cal. That's why I asked you because
The
they
West
haven't
is
been
Tyson. They're like 6 teams with almost the same record.
there.
So
They're about.
one win and one loss, they fourth.
Yeah,
That's how
that's how the
tight
West.
close. Oh my
That's how the West
goodness.
has been for years, man. But with the Suns, man, my biggest issue has always been my issue. You have like three of the same player. You
Yeah,
got three guys
who
who
need the ball.
they need the ball. They're not spot up shooters for real. They need to have the ball, dribble into their spot, and pull up.
Right, right.
And Bill hasn't been that guy. I don't know
He
where
has not.
he
He's lost
balled
his
out
mojo.
yesterday, and Durant balled out yesterday, 43 too. But these are all three guys who need the rock. When you got three guys who need the rock to score, it becomes an issue on your squad, man.
I agree.
Who do you go to, especially at the end of the games, man? Like, who's the consistency? Who are the plays moved around, or is it just who's open? Like I know that poor coach over there, man, having the hardest of times, man. I don't, man.
Yeah. Managing their minutes, managing their decision making, these ATOs, all of that is going to be
All that,
challenging
man.
for them. But it's a good problem to have, I guess,
I
to
guess.
have that much talent,
Yeah.
but had to
Managing the
translate it
egos too is
into,
tough.
I don't know if it's translating into wins.
No.
You're one game above 500. You're 14 and 13.
Yeah.
You're a middler. You're middle of the road team right now, but has the potential to be really a problem in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Once again, the NBA is still figuring itself out, not only from the media standpoint and viewership, but literally teams trying to figure out what they want to do, how they're going to do it. As trade deadlines are approaching, people are going to certainly see some changes in this league.
Mhm.
But we're here for it all
We
because
are
we are the Clutch Buckets podcast. And
here
so
for it.
we appreciate you all tuning in for this episode.
Appreciate
Be
y'all
sure
again.
to like, comment, share, and subscribe. My name is Kyle Spence,
And I'm Josh Tyson.
and we out.
Till next
Peace.
time, people.